When I first saw the BATCAVE Shadowbox, I had two thoughts. That's a weird design. And secondly, how the hell am I going to display this? G'day my LEGO friends, Down to Bricks here, and welcome to this week's video. Today we're going to explore those two questions because after building it, I still think it's a weird design and I still don't know how I'm going to display it. So I thought I'd take you along with me as I try some different options to put this on display in my LEGO room. I've also done a small little mod to the set, so we're going to have a look at that. And we're also going to take a trip down LEGO Batcave history and take a look at all the previous Batcaves. But first, let's just take a quick overview of this Batcave Shadowbox. In 2023, LEGO gave us set 76252, the Batcave Shadowbox, a Batcave designed from the 1992 Batman Returns movie. It's the biggest Batcave we've ever gotten in the history of LEGO DC at 3,981 pieces, beating out the classic TV series Batcave by almost 1,500 pieces. Starting with the inside of the front cover for the Shadowbox, the one thing I really love about this build is the level of detail, as you'd expect from an 18 plus set. But just look at this rock work, lots of different slopes and techniques used, and that just looks great. As we come along to the bottom, it's a little bit sparse, but we do have to allow room to close the Shadowbox, hence the lack of detail down these hinge sides on either side. The rock work along the bottom and top here is multifunctional, one for looks and secondly to strengthen the silhouette of the bat symbol from the front side. We have lots of detail around the Batmobile platform, lots of different rock work done along the bottom with just using plates and tiles to give it a bit of detail and depth. And the main action, well, let's take a quick look over this Batmobile, which is just absolutely superb. And I am going to do a little comparison video, and I'll try and get that out soon too, with some previous models of the Batmobile. We'll determine if this one is any better. Let's have a look at some minifigures. We have Max, Shrek and Penguin. And what's a Batcave without a couple of Batman? So we do get two Batman minifigures, and this is the first one here. It's a great looking Batman minifigure. And now we come to the main side of the Batcave itself. And we have lots and lots of detail. So we have our workshop area. We have the weapons vault, and there is Catwoman. We have our Batman suit storage, and of course the Bat computer with Alfred and Mr. Wayne himself. And this side is just packed with detail. And the thing I probably like most about this build is how they've given us this depth on this side, and it's really sort of opened my eyes on different ways you could do a Batcave, and sections like this where the rock work is cut out, and there's two stud spacings in behind here, so to give it that depth. And of course we've got some bats in behind there as well, but I just think that is really, really well done. And the thing I guess I appreciate the most with this set is it is just a wall of bricks, as you can see here, but then they've put all different slopes in and different techniques to try and get that depth on the set, especially in this section here. This is really, really well done. And of course, it comes with lots of different functions. So let's take a very quick look. Of course, too, we have our symbol above the Batmobile, so that's a nice touch as well. So let's have a look at some of these functions quickly. Of course, we can get into the weapons vault where we have lots of batarangs and the like. We have the Batsuit storage. You can grab his Batsuit and it does light up as well. We have the Bat computer that has changing. Well, let's have a look. We have the swinging Bat seat, Bat chair, and we have the changing Bat computer. It has 3 different screens, and we can rotate those, which are of course just stickers, but we can rotate to have a different look. And if we're having a look at the back here, we've got all our knobs here to actually work those functions. We do have a working door for the Batmobile, and you just manually lift that up, but then you can just push this button and it closes just like that. Now, one thing, if we're going to talk about displaying, that we have to keep in mind that if we're going to display it where you can see it from the back, well, this side looks good, and that's not too bad. This side is quite ugly, so you're going to have to keep that in mind. We do have another little section down in here, storage section, for any little bits and pieces you'd like to keep in there. And now it's not going to close for me. Now that we've had a look over the Batcave Shadowbox, let's have a look at some previous offerings from Lego. So we're going to start way back from the time of filming this, 18 years ago, to 2006. We have this awesome Batcave. And then we have to go to 6 years later in 2012 to get this Batcave. And then we jump forward to 2016 to get the classic TV series Batcave. Then in 2017 we got the Lego Batman movie Batcave. And then in 2019 we got this offering from Lego, and in 2022 we got the Batman Batcave, which is the smallest Batcave that we've ever gotten. Now, if I was to rank the Batcaves from Lego, I would put the 2012 in last place. Then I would have the Batman Batcave. And then probably the Lego Batman Batcave, which is still really cool. Coming in third place would be the 2019 Batcave, which was probably the Batcave that surprised me the most. Then in second place I would have the classic TV series, Batcave, and in first place I would have the 2006 Batcave. So, does the Shadowbox beat out this 2006? And that's a very difficult one, because off the bat I have to say yes, but I have a real soft spot for this set. I really do love it. But just the level of detail, the 18 plus, you know, with the amount of detail they can put into a set like that, it's just, yeah, it's very hard for the Shadowbox not to be the best Batcave. So let's take a look at, I guess, how Lego intended for us to display the Shadowbox, and let's close it up. And here we have the Shadowbox closed, and it does look awesome with that silhouette, which is something, of course, looking from having it open, you don't get to appreciate at all. And you do get to see a lot of that fantastic detail. You don't get to appreciate it all though, but I do really like this rock work from the inside front cover, how once it comes together, how it forms with the other side. I just think that's very well done, and it does look pretty darn good. So placing it on a shelf like this, I think it does kind of look a little bit weird. I'm just so used to seeing all these other sets displayed out where you can sort of really appreciate the whole set. But when it's closed up like this, I don't know, I just feel like you're missing out on something. If I was to display it like this on a shelf, I would clear out, yeah, maybe this shelf here or something, so it could be elevated, but just to have a sense of what it would look like on a shelf, I've just put it on here. And I mean, it's certainly passable. It's a fine way to display it. But I don't know. I'm not totally satisfied with that, to be honest. So, options. What other options have we got here in the Lego room? So let's take a wander down here where I have, I guess, let's just say this is all my other 18 plus sets from DC. So the UCS style sets. Let's get a bit more light over here. How awesome are these? So I was thinking about possibly rearranging this shelf and placing the Shadowbox in an L shape, so I could put the actual Shadowbox outside cover along that wall and have the Batcave along the back here, which I think would look pretty good. My only concern with that is what I really love about this shelving is that I can take a complete walk around and appreciate the sets on all sides, whereas the Batcave here, you're going to see all the back of it in those dials. And while that probably wouldn't be too bad, I just don't think I'm going to be a big fan of that. So, other options to display it open. Now, of course, opening it up is what creates all these display problems, because if you just wanted to display it like this, maybe you could angle the Batmobile out a little bit. It's the depth. It is far too deep to fit on a shelf, and if we open it right up, it's far too long to fit on any shelf. The thing is bloody huge. It doesn't take up much of a footprint depth-wise when it's fully open. So it's a good shelf depth, I guess, when it's fully open like this, but who has a shelf that I think this is it a meter long? I don't know, but it's quite long. It's longer than any shelves. These shelves I have here are, I think some of them are 900 and it doesn't fit on those. So yeah, very difficult to display. I have to come up with even more options. So one of the main reasons I want to display this set open, especially open flat like this, is I had a mod from the very first time I saw this set and the release of some other sets. I knew I wanted to do this little mod. So before we go on to more display options, let's take a look at this mod. Now, of course, once I've put this little mod in here, I'm no longer able to close the Shadowbox. But from the first time I saw this set and the release of the other 2023 sets, I knew I wanted to do something to fill out this section and display the Shadowbox open. So that little mod will hold the 2023 Batwing. So this is set 76265. It has what I feel Lego have done on purpose. Built this flat little base on the bottom, and because of that hole in that little mod there, I can simply just sit the Batwing on it like so. And now we have the Batmobile and the Batwing in the Batcave, but has only emphasized the need for me to display this set open. So what the heck am I gonna do? Well, I even come down, let's see if the camera will sit here, where while I just move this back. Now I'd finally come down to that, my final thought, and I might have to just go back here, was to leave it displayed on my Lego table, because it has a very narrow footprint. It doesn't take up a lot of my table space. And of course you still have the platform sticking out, but you still have plenty of room on the table to display it. And I'm thinking, well, that's a definite option, but it's a bit of a lame option, isn't it? Well, I've got no other options, I'm just going to leave it on my table. And while I'm sitting here contemplating, am I going to leave it like this, I take a look up and I think about this shelf up here. Now, it is very narrow. We can see the Indiana Jones set, how it's overhanging a bit like it is. Of course, the platform would stick out, but it's a definite option and I think it's worth exploring. So I'm going to climb up there now and we're going to see what it looks like. I have found a solution. Now, I know it's a bit of a cheat. Not everyone's going to have an option like this. And I was a little bit concerned about how it would view looking up at it, especially with the platform. But with this rockwork around the bottom, I think that looks fantastic. Now, if I stand back here and I put the camera at head height, that's what I'm looking at. Of course, I miss out on using some of the functions, but honestly, how often do you do that sort of stuff anyway? My main thing is I wanted to display it open with the Batwing. I've also added Jack Nicholson Joker to the display as well. And I am very happy with this option, and I love the fact of just when you look at it from different angles. So we're just going to take a little bit of a wander here and look at it with the Batmobile platform sticking out like that. I do think that looks rather cool. So, and Batman on the end. So I am really happy with this. So let's give some of my final thoughts, I guess, on this set as a whole. So the design, how I said, it's a weird design. Honestly, I think probably what Lego should have done, and what I would have preferred to see, is use the pieces that they used on this side and put it more into the Batcave. And instead of having the sort of border, let's have some rigid rock work around the outside to continue the Batcave look. Still have the platform. You could even still have it hinged, where you could still angle it in on this way if you wanted to display it on a shelf, but do away with the actual shadow box idea and the outside cover or the front cover, and just focus on the Batcave itself. I think that would have been a much better set for display, and just to put that much more pieces into the Batcave side as well, I think would have been beneficial. That's what I would have preferred. How do you think that Lego, what options should have Lego explored on different ways to have this UCS style, I guess, in a way, Batcave, or 18 plus Batcave? I still think the level of detail takes it to a whole new level on Batcaves we've had in the past. So standing at this point in time, it is my favourite Batcave. Like I said, I'm always going to go back to the 2006 Batcave, because that thing is an absolute classic. And I quite often say it was never going to be beaten, but yeah, it's this one's pushing it to its limits. I like the addition of the Batwing in there as well, just to help fill out that section. And overall, I just am really happy that I came up with this option to be able to display the set. I still have my other sets here that I've taken down. I've got to work out how I'm going to fit those back up there. But yeah, I'm very happy with this. So let me know in the comments what you think. What do you think Lego should have done with this set? Have you gotten this set? How do you display it? I guess it's not much of an option for many people. You're just going to have to display it closed on a shelf and open it up when you want to take a look inside, which is perfectly fine option. But if you wanted to display it open like this, have you come up with any other solutions? Like I said, it was very good that had this small footprint depth-wise, so you could put it on a narrow shelf like this. My other option I was contemplating is putting it up on here, which isn't as high, so you'd get to probably, you know, be a little bit more eye level, or not eye level, but a little bit lower. But overall, I'm very happy with this set. I actually haven't had a look. Let's go and have a look from this angle, which I haven't even done myself yet. So let's take a look from here. But yeah, I think overall it's a pretty good option. So let me know what you think. Am I a doofus? Does it look crap? Do you hate it? Do you love it? Do you want the set? Did you buy the set? Let me know all that in the comments. But a big thank you for taking the time to watch at this unique Batcave, a unique way of looking at it. And I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.